Hey guys, Dennis back with a brand new video. So today I'm going to show you guys how to install one of these Blink wired floodlight cameras. Now they do have a wireless version. It's not as bright. The lumens on this one is 2600. I believe it's around 7 something or maybe 800 for the battery powered version. And that's because this one runs off the 120 volts where your existing floodlight is. So let's get right into the installation. All right, so you're only going to need some basic tools to install this. I got a flathead and a Phillips. I got some wire strippers, and you're going to need some way of determining that the voltage is off. This is a non-contact voltage tester. If you have a digital multimeter, you can use that too. All right, so our first step is to secure the power to this. So there's typically thumb screws on the left and right side. We're going to pull both of those off. All right, and then we'll just take this and we'll jiggle this back and forth and it should come off. All right, so our hot's normally black. We're gonna check it with a non-contact voltage tester here, and we have nothing. So I know this light or this wiring is dead. So I'm just gonna remove the wire nuts from the ground, the neutral, and the hot. And it's that simple. The old light is uninstalled. And then I also need to remove the ground from this crossbar. And then we'll just take the ground, unwrap it from that screw, and that's all there is to removing that. Let's get this unboxed. Here's their hardware kit. This looks like the new mount. All the hardware that you need. And there is a hook here. And here's the back side of it. So you'll see there's a rubber gasket on here. And then we also have our black, white, and green for our ground here. What we first want to do is we want to get this little crossbar mounted to the mounting block on the side of the house. All right, so all I did is I measured down. This is a 6-inch by 5-inch vinyl mounting block. I measured down 3 inches on each side. I put 2 of the old screws in that came out of the old mounting bar there, and I connected my ground to the green screw. So all we need to do now is grab our camera, grab the hardware that tightens that camera to this center post here. We'll make up our wires, we'll get those stuffed inside, and then we should be good to go. All right, so I figured out what this S-hook is for, and this is actually really cool. You're supposed to hang this on here and then put this around the camera, I guess, on here, and it holds the light assembly in place while you're doing your wiring. How cool is that? All right, now that we have this S-hook holding everything in place, this makes this really nice for us to be able to work on this almost hands-free and not having a helper. We're just going to connect our ground. All right, we'll get our neutral connected now, and we'll get our hot connected. You want to make sure these connections are done up really tight, right? You don't want any arcing wires because that's what causes fires. We need to tuck our solid wires back in to this mounting block, and then we can take this S-hook off. And there should be enough room in this back cavity here where these stranded wires aren't going to interfere with anything. H is the screw that you're looking for. It looks like a Phillips screw from the front, but it actually goes over this post. And we fit the light over the post, and we'll push this H screw into the inside of this center hole. All right, so I just want to make sure this is kind of straight up and down before I tighten this up all the way. Oh, look at that, they give you 2. I bought the black version of this, but they give you a white plug too, so we'll use the black version. You can see that plug in there? Looks really nice and trim now. All right, so we got our protective covers off, and basically what we can do now is kind of figure out where these need to be aimed. I'll probably come back and adjust this at night. Okay, so this little nut on here loosens up and allows you to kind of pivot this around. All right, so that's all there is to electrically connecting this. Now we're gonna go turn a switch on, get this powered up. Now, because this is on a switch, obviously if that switch ever gets turned off, this is not gonna work, right? There's no battery backup on this. So what I'm gonna do is actually buy a guard for the switch that looks like one of these right here, and that'll prevent anybody from turning the switch on and off. All right, so I'm at this point. We got a steady green and a blinking blue. We're gonna click Discover Device. Okay, so I logged in. It's sending Wi-Fi info. Now it's updating firmware. Now you'll notice that the solid green and blinking blue light went off. In the blink app, you'll see it was successfully added. I can just hit next, go through all this stuff, hit done. Now you'll see it pop up as an additional device in here. If we want to turn the lights on now, we can hit that. All right, so we're all set up. All right, guys, and that wraps it up for this video. Super simple to install one of these Blink floodlight cameras. It's really bright. This is what it looks like at night. There we go. It lights up pretty well. If you like this video, consider subscribing and make sure to hit that like button. It helps me out and it helps me bring you guys new content every week. Thanks for watching. Until next time.